My name is John Huston. I'm a director of motion pictures. Most of the pictures that I direct are made on location.
Can't shoot him for that. Besides, if you were to shoot him, it might come out.
We don't have to shoot him necessarily. We'd push him off one of them rocks and claim it as an accident.
Just who's going to do the pushing?
In a short span of time after winning Oscars for writing and directing The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, John Huston made one of his most perfect films with The Asphalt Jungle, his most artistically satisfying and personal film to date with The Red Badge of Courage, as well as his biggest commercial success with The African Queen. But in 1952, everything changed. Incensed over the studio's tampering with The Red Badge of Courage, which he considered his best work, and finding himself the target of political persecution, like his friend Orson Welles, he left America for Europe. Huston was known for telling stories about ill-fated quests and for preferring to shoot on location whenever possible, which wasn't common at the time. In this new phase of his career, he began taking even more risks. He persuaded novelists with no film experience, like Truman Capote and Ray Bradbury, to write screenplays. Most importantly, he began asserting himself over the optical aesthetics of his films. His partner in this plan was British cinematographer Oswald Morris. In their first film together, Huston and Morris tackled the biography of Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec with Moulin Rouge. Partially filmed on location in Paris, the film gained notoriety for its unique treatment of color, which was achieved with smoke on the shooting set and filters on the camera lenses.
So I set about desaturating and degrading the color. And we got some pretty startling effects from this. We were getting vibes from Technicolor that they weren't happy with what we were doing.
Huston's fixation on the texture of the film is paralleled in the story itself, in the scenes where Lautrec takes charge of mixing the colors to be used in his printed posters.
It's blue, pink, yellow, gray, anything but green.
I mix the paints. I shall blend the inks.
Physically, the most difficult picture I ever made was Moby Dick.
From where to starboard, there she blows. There go flukes. Flukes gone down.
Larboard!
Larboard!
All line, tubs! Fill up the mainsail! Clear away, boats!
Ash, bet you $1 we strike first.
Moby Dick was filmed in Wales, Portugal, and Ireland, and like Moulin Rouge, its interiors were shot at Shepperton Studios in London.
Stop snoring, you sleepers! Poor catching, poor watching, merrily hearts!
For this film, Huston and Morris aimed to recreate the appearance of 19th century whaling prints, which they accomplished by superimposing a black and white print of the final film over a separate color print. The result of the muted color palettes in both Moulin Rouge and Moby Dick is that the films look like no others from their time, and therefore attain an ageless quality. Visually, they could be mistaken for films from a much later date, as vibrant Technicolor fell out of favor by the 1970s.
You're to look for the white whale. A whale as white and as big as a mountain of snow.
Both films continue Huston's familiar theme of men at odds with their world as they strive to follow their passions. The protagonists in each are physically handicapped and spiritually drained.
Drink your drink, Henri, and then we will go to the Louvre and refresh our souls. Huh?
The Louvre, that graveyard.
Graveyard! The home of the Mona Lisa, and he calls it a graveyard.
Ah, the Mona Lisa. Truly the greatest painting in the world.
And how do you know it is the greatest painting in the world? And how do you know that it was painted by Leonardo?
How do I know it? Because I feel it. I feel it here in my heart.
I feel in my heart that you were a pompous ass, but that does not make it so.
I, gold will pour out of Moby Dick's wounds into your hands. Every drop of his blood, another Spanish doubloon.
Although both men are doomed, Ahab's blasphemy against nature results in him dying in the throes of madness, whereas Lautrec's love for art and humanity allows him to spend his final moments in tranquility and peace.
The birds, they go. God, I lose him. Without a wind, we'll lose him!
The theme, what is the statement of Moby Dick, is certainly not an optimistic one. Thematically, it's a blasphemy. It's against God Almighty. Ahab pits himself against the Almighty and is destroyed. But there is a certain majesty as Lucifer's rebellion in that.
Huston went on to make many more films, but only a handful of times attempted such bold pictorial experiments, as for example in the blurring effects and high contrast photography in Freud, as well as the sepia filter used in Reflections in a Golden Eye. Like the characters in his films, Huston had little tolerance for frivolous things and romantic illusions, but despite his cynicism made many films dedicated to anti-heroes filled with vision and zeal, who fight social constraints in order to achieve their goals. And in Moulin, Rouge, and Moby Dick, he realized his own goal of making films look like they were actually created in the same environment they depict.